Testing, testing. Can you hear me? Here, you know what? Here, this is how we can tell if we can hear. We
Hear we? Yes, that we
can I hear me?
Can we
What
hear
the
me?
hell? Let's see. How do I even get to my page?
Click on Facebook.
Okay, I'm almost there. We're just seeing if we can actually. Can you hear me? I'm looking to find me on here, and I guess I can't find me.
I just sit right down here.
I can't find me. Can you hear me? Can you hear us? Hello?
Hello.
Hello, is anybody there?
Well, normally I get a. Oh. No,
Can you hear me?
that's not live anymore. That's not now. That was earlier.
That is so weird.
Isn't that weird?
Okay, on here it says that we have video, and on here it says that we have audio.
Okay, wait a minute. Here we are.
Here, this is how we can tell if we can hear. Okay, we can hear we. All right, so now we're good. Okay, so welcome everybody. Good morning. It's the breakfast show, and this is take 2.
Ooh.
Yes, take 2.
Because we all know two's better than one.
Yeah, but and now I'm like completely awake, so I'm in a good zone. Oh, whoops. My little fuzzy thing came off my microphone. Did it change the way my voice came across? Was it really brass? Like, honest to God, oh my goodness. Honest to God, oh my goodness.
Oh my
Not
goodness.
only does it
Oh my goodness.
do that, it does this. But good morning, everybody. My name is Maris, and this is...
Helene.
I've been writing Allie
We've
on
been
there.
writing Allie. We can do Allie.
I kind of like Allie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be Allie.
I was like,
I'm gonna change my identity.
I'm changing. Yeah, your husband's gonna get pissed at me. You know.
No, he's actually not, because he started calling me Allie about 3 years ago.
Okay, so like, why don't you go by Allie then?
I know.
I mean, to be honest.
I went through a phase in high school where that's what I was. I was Allie.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like I graduated from high school, and all of a sudden I thought I was like this grown up person, and so I went back to Alline. And so it was like I have to be an adult now, right? So
Yeah.
now it's coming full circle, and I'm kind of swinging back to Allie.
Yeah, I was gonna say because my husband's the one that started calling me Maris.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, you know what? I like that. And my name
Stick with it.
My name means seas, not as in seas with my eyes, but seas as in the 7 seas, mariscos, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, I like that name. And then if you think about my name, it's Linda Modis. It really kind of means beautiful seas.
Oh, there we go. That's cool.
So I like that name. I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds kind of corny, but so I prefer Maris, and it's kind of like, I can tell when somebody calls me Linda, I'm either being reprimanded,
And I call her Linda all the time.
which, I was like, you would think by now she would pick up the look in my eye, like, what the hell, don't do that, I don't like it. My kids, I mean, it's okay. I mean, people will call me Linda, and I'm like, okay, I'm always in trouble with them, and usually, I am in trouble with them. I've had very few people, when they're going to gripe at me, say, Maris. It's usually like, Linda, I can't believe you posted that up on Facebook. Oh, my goddess. And I'm like, hey, is this not the world of free speech?
Right?
I mean, I think it's kind of silly, and I'm not going to drop names or anything, but go ahead and delete whose ever platform or account, whatever you want to do. That's just ridiculous. The more that people do stuff like that, and like corporates or corporations going through and deleting people's Twitter accounts or Facebook accounts because you don't like what they say.
It's dumb.
You know, that sounds to me like a First Amendment issue. And isn't that the First Amendment, my freedom of speech?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So you're like, what the heck are you doing with all those little plastic bags? And I'm like, these are my magical soaps. They're called Spiritual Works. And she's like looking at me.
I like it. I love
Magical?
it.
And I'm like,
Magical
yes. I have the purple ones here. These are my prosperity. So if you're needing to bring abundance and prosperity, you need to get this little bar of soap. It helps create and raise that vibration for prosperity.
These green ones?
The green ones. Okay, so let's say that you work in what we call a client-based or a service-based industry, especially if you are dependent on tips. So we could talk about cosmetologists, we can talk about wait staff at your favorite restaurant. We can talk about, your favorite bud tender. Okay, so if you're a bud tender, this would be a good soap for you. This helps to encourage the vibration of receiving good tips. So, when I used to...
it's not edible, but it smells like those spearmint leaf gummies that you can get. You know what I'm talking about, the gumdrops?
Yeah, I wouldn't eat this. You'd be farting bubbles. Yeah, I'm like, sorry, but you would. You'd fart bubbles. So, like, why would you want to do that? Your kids would like it, but, I'm like, is there anything in there that would not be good for my stomach? But yeah, I probably wouldn't eat it. Glycerin, I don't know what glycerin things taste like. And all I could think of is, don't glycerin suppositories make you have a BM? So like, why would you eat this soap? Okay, let's just keep it real. Okay, and then this is like my favorite one. And this one over here is called Shake a Booty. And it's for booty.
I can't believe she just said that.
I was saying love, but I meant booty, okay? On the take one, I said it's for love. It's for booty. So if you need some booty, and you need to attract some booty in a positive manner, good booty, not bad booty. Jeez, over here going,
oh my gosh!
The bishop from my church watches this show. Oh my God!
Not.
And I'm like, Bishop, if you need some booty, get it for your wife. No, just kidding.
Oh my God.
No, I'm not kidding.
So what does this one smell like?
Booty. It smells like chocolate, kind of.
It does.
Okay.
It kind of smells like a chocolate milkshake.
Aha! Okay. Hence why it's called Shake a Booty. Okay, so Salt and Pepper. Okay, that was my girl rap band back in the day. Okay, Salt and Pepper. Salt and Pepper had a song like, and it was about kind of like hot dudes, and she was like, with that shake, I'll take some fries with that shake booty. And so I was like, that's what inspired me. So Salt and Pepper inspired me. My milkshake brings all the boys to yard. Yep. So shake a booty. So I have my 3 soaps. Well, there's more that's over in the other place, but these are what I brought with me today. Because I also have some soap for clearing out negative ties. Those are the ones that have the little scrubbery things in it. And then one for raising vibration, bringing happiness. It's my sunshine, get along. But my favorite ones, are these right here. Okay, so we've got Shake a Booty if you need a little bit of loving. Got some prosperity and abundance if you need some cash. Flow coming in, receiving groovy things. And then, of course, let us not forget our tip jar. Okay. And maybe that's what I ought to call it, tip jar.
There you go.
How about, let's call this one tip jar. So for people that are tip dependent, so if you're a waitress, a waiter, is there like a generic term for a table staff server thing person? I'm trying to be like
An Uber driver.
an Uber driver, a Lyft driver, anybody who works in an industry that you receive tips or that you hope to receive tips. And this is the soap for you. And so my soaps are $4 a piece. And I know, and they go, oh my God, that's just like so cheap. And I'm like, I know. Okay, I know.
We didn't, no excuses for not being clean.
Yeah, well, no excuses. But the magical soaps here, Spiritual Works, the little ones like this, these are $4 a piece, or you can get 3 for 10. And you know me, sometimes I'll even go, oh, try this, and I'll throw in another one sometimes. Depends on my mood.
Yeah.
I won't lie about that. Depends on my mood.
I like doing that. I like doing that, especially if I'm trying something new.
Yeah.
I'm
and
like,
I
here,
was
try
like,
this and tell me what you think.
Alright, so it's like, and I will tell the truth. I've used this a couple times right before I went gambling. Yes, I like. Everybody knows I love to gamble. Alright, we're not gonna lie. Okay, I like to gamble. There's just something about my finger on that machine and hearing jackpot and big win and I love that. Even if it's not me and you're the person sitting next to me, I get more excited when you hit the jackpot than you do. I'm like, oh my God, you know. But
That's
anyway,
awesome.
I have bathed. I've actually like bathed for an entire week in this. I loved it. And let me just tell you, I won. But gamble responsibly. Just because you hit $700 doesn't mean that you can turn around and gamble away $700. Okay, so now I need a body lotion that teaches me gambling responsibility. Just, no. Actually, if it's kind of like a gift horse and it comes up, it doesn't really matter what I do with it. A lot of times I'll just like, no. I try to do really cool kind of groovy things with my winnings when I win
Yeah.
at the casino.
Casinos are like grown-up arcades.
Heck yeah.
That's what I've decided.
And I was like, and so people will they'll go like, I bought this new video game for my PS9, and it was like $300. And I'm like, oh, and you want to complain about me spending $20 at the ding dang casino? Because I have a potential to win $200. You play your little video game that you pay $200 for, you ain't winning anything unless you're in a competition.
Right.
So play video games responsibly. I wonder if there are competitions
There
like
are.
big,
Oh,
like,
for video
like for video games,
there are.
but they're like big dollar competitions, like poker tournaments.
There are.
Yeah. Oh
Big
my
time.
God. Yeah.
There are people who actually make a living playing video games.
Well, I'm totally about that. Meaning not making a living playing video games, but I'm all about making your living doing something that you totally love.
That's right.
So if you totally love playing video games, rock on.
There you go.
Because I do what I love. I love doing. Actually, Allie, if I could paint and do readings all day, you know, like do creative
She'd be
stuff and then do
happy.
some readings, do some creative stuff, do some readings, I would be a happy camperette. Not that I'm not a happy camperette, but that would be the nirvana of happy camperette.
That would be her dream job.
So I can make that dream job happen.
There you can.
I can.
Yeah, you can.
I can.
I know you can.
Yeah. All right. So now it's my new ding dang goal.
There you go.
I'm gonna paint all day and read cards all night.
There you go.
Actually, we had a lot of fun at that painting class.
Did you?
I've got.
It looked like it was fun.
It was a lot of
Pictures
fun.
looked like fun.
Tomorrow we have. I have another one tomorrow. Isn't that kind of cool? How it like
That's cool.
did that. I have another one tomorrow, another of the painting class. It's from 11 to 2. So you can, and we'll usually finish up before 2. I mean, that's just in case we get gabbing or, you know, like, can I paint another one? Something like that, and we're going to do that. But, so you can drop your kiddos off over at Mother's Day out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Or preschool, whatever. and then come in and paint. Or if you don't have kids, you can come in and paint. If your kids are at home because of COVID and the schools and it's not their day for class, sorry. I was like, I really don't recommend bringing little ones to the grown-up session, but we are going to offer paint classing, paint pour classes for the younger ones and for our teens too, because they were like, oh my gosh, I have some kids that would love doing this, and got a lot of really, really good positive feedback. But they caught me off guard, Allie.
Okay.
They did. So everybody, does like their little first painting, or we're all, wrapping up on that painting. And they go, well, so you're going to read these for us now?
Oops.
And
you weren't planning on that, were you?
I wasn't planning on that, So I'm like over here, I'm like, do what? And they were like, are you going to like read these for us? And I'm like, I don't know about that. I'm like, I didn't bank on that. And a good thing I ate a couple of my magic brownies, so I was like really rocking and rolling. So I ended up, there were 7 people that participated, and I ended up reading their paintings.
Cool.
For them. Some folks had some tears that were happy tears, like release tears, but the whole object of this first of the series was about releasing emotions that no longer define us, and taking those negative or non-defining emotions and pouring them out onto a canvas and creating something beautiful with them. And we did. We created a lot of beautiful things. I mean, it was phenomenal. I really enjoyed the class. I loved every minute of it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I was like so excited. I was like, let's do like 10 a month, Can we have paint pour parties,
Yeah, she's got like, how many do we have up now? The 9th, the 14th, the 25th?
Okay, well, those are the regular ones. And so then we have the Create Your Rune Stone set on the 23rd. And I did 9 to 2, but I don't think we'll be here that late. And I am making some cool soups. I'll have a vegetarian soup and then a non-vegetarian soup I wrote omnivore and herbivore soups. So, there'll be a beef and vegetable probably, or a chicken noodle, something like that, homemade. And then an herbivore or a vegetarian soup. So, I can't guarantee it'll be vegan, but I can guarantee it'll be vegetarian. So it's a Create Your Own Rune Stones class. I've cast the rune stones as the plaster cast, and then you take it from there, and then while those are drying, we're going to pour some more castings.
Cool.
So everybody gets to learn how to make some of the rune stones.
Awesome.
And then
that'll be awesome.
In February, we have What Color Is Your Energy? A paint pour class, and it's about creating who we want to be, or what we want to be, what color do we want to say expresses the vibe we desire. And we've got 3 sessions for that, the 6th, the 11th, and the 15th, so we can get it done right around Valentine's. And then on the 9th,
I'm doing the Kintsugi class, which is a Friday night, so I intended that as a date night. So, but, bring your best friend, come by yourself, it doesn't matter. Just, So, and I think we'll probably have some treats.
Oh, that'll be fun. Oh, yeah, that'll be fun.
Make it kind of fun for date night.
Okay,
so.
and then do you have a Saturday class coming up on that?
I am going to put a Saturday class on for that. So I'm going to sit down and go through my calendar probably this afternoon and schedule a few more things. Because we're going to do the mandala stones.
Yep, the mandala stones.
We're going to do those. And I'm going to schedule another Kintsugi class for a Saturday. So if you can't come to that Friday, then we'll do one on a Saturday morning.
So cool.
So it'll be fun. So watch for those dates popping up by the end of the week.
Yep. I have paint classes. I haven't posted them all yet, but I've got paint pour classes for the next for up until about May,
Mhm.
and then we'll start that series over again.
Fun.
And then in March, probably April or not April, probably late February and March, we'll start incorporating the kids' classes with that. So that'll be really
That would be
fun
fun.
with that.
So I'm also going to add a eyeshadow class for making your own eyeshadow, and those are a lot of fun because you get when you start mixing your colors,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, okay, I want this beautiful mermaid green, right? And
Where are you
you're
going to
mixing-
get mermaid green?
Right, and then
by
you start
yourself?
mixing all these colors, and you're like, this, how does this make green? I don't understand, but it turns out so pretty, and you get some really nice
Okay.
eyeshadows.
I just have a question.
Hmm.
What color is mermaid green?
Oh, it's kind of like that seafoam green, like kind of like this.
Okay. So
Like
that's
that.
mermaid green.
That's mermaid green.
I don't know about the mermaid green. I think I'm a little old for it. I think I would look kind of strange with the mermaid green, but it is kind of a pretty color. I think it's definitely for the younger crowd.
Maybe you could do a little bit of accent though, and it'd be pretty.
I don't know. I'm going to be honest. You know what colors I wear? Browns.
I do either browns or plums, and that's about it.
I used to do plums, but I don't do plums anymore. And I don't know why, but I am like all about earth tone. And if it's like blues, I'm like, I'm good. You know, they'll come up with that, and I'm like, I'm good. Mary Kay, lady, you cannot get me to wear anything other than browns. Because I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, I look like a drag queen. You know, and then there I am on the other side
That's
going,
great.
I wonder
This
if my
is
drag queen friends would help me learn how to put makeup on. You know, because I'm like trying to look like I have makeup on when I do my videos, like reading videos and stuff, and look like I'm like, you know, because actually I am kind of, you know. But cameras are not really flattering.
They're really not.
And so I'm like, maybe if I start like watching the drag queen how to put makeup on, I will look as good as Katie Demure.
So
Ca-
we just like paint it on.
I'm just I'm telling you, that is a blankety blank art.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. They do some amazing,
I am
amazing
like-
makeup work.
Oh my God, you know,
It really
like,
is an art.
that person looked like what? You know, and oh my God, she, whatever, is gorgeous. I'm like, better looking than most chicks. So that's why I want to like learn how to do that. But my friends that are gay will look at me and they're like, oh, honey, you have no idea what they're going to do to you. And I'm like, so I'm kind of scared a little bit, you know, but not really. Because I was like, because then I would go on Facebook Live and go, look what so-and-so did to me, you know. So your name would be Mud if I looked like crap. But anyway, it's funny. Do you ever watch anything with the sound off and just watch the body language?
Not usually.
Really?
No, not really.
I am fascinated by body language.
It fascinates me too. I know that there's times that I'll find myself going like this because I might be chilly or my shoulders hurt or something, you know, so I'm just relaxing and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I'm telling people that I'm closed.
That I'm closed off,
You know,
yeah.
I'm not really closed off, I'm really just cold,
Well,
you know, but...
when I was doing, you know, I did a gig or a tour of duty, whatever you want to call it, as a psychiatric nurse. And you have some other little classes that you take as a psychiatric nurse. And that's usually like facility based, okay? And so they'll do a little class about body language. And so I would do this. So if I started doing this, I'd go, I'm not closed off to you, I'm just cold. My heart is open and warm and receptive to whatever
right.
you have to
That's
say. Good, bad, ugly. I'm just freezing my poo off, you know. And so it got to the point that, you'd go, I'm cold.
I'm just cold. I really not.
And they're like, your body language says that you're closed off from us. And I'm like, I'm closing off because I'm cold and you need to put the damn heat on. Don't be cheap.
Right.
It's 19 degrees outside, for Pete's sake. But, so they talk a lot about posture and body language. And you started bringing that up. So what was...
So I was going through some stuff the other day, and if you take a power stance, so Superman, we were doing Wonder Woman the other night at the house, but basically a power stance is showing that you're strong and, I'm about ready to take on the world. For 2 minutes, just 2 minutes, it's 120 seconds. You can do that without anybody noticing. In the shower, wherever.
Waiting in line at Walmart. By the way, you have your mask on, they won't know it's you.
It increases testosterone, and yes, women, you have testosterone too. And if your testosterone is low, your estrogen is high, which makes you estrogen dominant, which is a problem. So taking a power stance increases testosterone, and it lowers cholesterol. It lowers your cortisol levels. So it takes that stress level down, but that testosterone level coming up is a feel-good hormone. Mm-hmm. So it gives you that feeling of strength and power and self-confidence. And so by taking that stance for 2 minutes, they've proven that your hormone levels change.
Okay, so Wonder Woman stance is like this.
Fist on the hips, feet apart, about the lower shoulder width.
Shoulder width apart.
Okay. As if it's like, so what I told my niece is like, somebody's coming up to you and they want to fight you. What are you going to do? Because she thought this was all silly. And she goes, I'm just going to run. That's what she told me. She goes, I'm just going to run.
They run faster than me.
I said, somebody wants to argue with you. What's your power stance? Like, you're standing up for something, hands on the hips, and I'm not backing down, So, 2 minutes, that's all. 2 minutes.
Okay, all right. So let's reflect back to childhood and your mother. How many times was your mother, like you did something or you were busted playing while you should have been doing chores or whatever, and your mother did the hands on the hips? And I was like, and we thought it was because she wanted to, like, intimidate us, and it just dawned on me, no, she was conjuring up the strength and the courage not to beat the hell out of you.
That's right.
It just dawned on me. I was like, oh, that's what that was truly about.
That's exactly right.
She didn't want to whip me, She's like, Lord, whatever entity is listening, keep me from reaching out and touching her in a violent way.
That's right.
And I thought it was about, she was just conjuring up strength and courage. All right, I get it now. Mm-hmm. What it was is you were like, so somebody is doing something against you. Mm-hmm. What's your power stance? Mm-hmm. Okay, so what's another power stance?
My husband was doing the whole Superman, boom, I mean, get up there and do this. Strength, arms, strengthen those arms.
Hey, we could have power stance Pilates. I don't know.
Power stance Pilates. Why not?
I'm gonna work on my energy and my vibration. Come do power stances with me.
We'll get down in that whole, the gorilla thing, like you're getting ready to, or whatever they call that. I don't know. I call it the gorilla stance. But, when you're on a track meet and you're down and ready to, go. You know what I'm talking about?
I call that get ready, go. Get set, go.
Yeah.
Get set,
it just kind of reminds me of a gorilla down there going, I'm ready to attack.
Well, because I'm thinking like, woo, 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 Okay, and I'm like, okay. Did that make me feel better? No, winded me. Don't wind me. But no, that's really all right. So, what are some other posture things that can? Because it can kind of talk about some hidden emotions.
Oh, yeah, it can.
on our
So,
posture.
I mean, if you're thinking about, slouching forward, that's a whole posture of feeling defeated or, down and depressed. And so just by
Okay.
bringing your shoulders up to your ears and rolling them back can help build your happiness.
Build your happiness.
Yeah.
I know that often when girls are experiencing an unwanted or unpleasant pregnancy, and I'm just going to use that term, unpleasant pregnancy, they'll often will cross their arms over their their abdominal area. They'll close their arms over that, and then people that are like totally pleasant and happy and joyous and welcoming of that pregnancy, they're like, "Hey, baby,
Look what I
look at my
got."
stomach," and you're
Yeah.
like, "You're 1 day pregnant," like we can really tell, and they're like, "But you did." Yeah, that's because there's like a beacon of light coming out, right above your pubic bone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that always, my son, he and his wife were pregnant, and it was so funny because I kept saying, I looked at, this little girl talks to me, okay? Think me as a Fruit Loop, wackadoodle, that's okay.
Yeah, it works.
But it was like, about a month or so, maybe 6 weeks ish, something like that. I keep getting this grandmother, grandma, and I'm seeing this little girl, and she's like a little girl, and she's talking to me. She didn't tell me her name, but he told me her name now. And so my son, he was like, "No, it's going to be a boy," and I'm like, "Dude, I'm so sorry. It's a girl, and this is what she looks like, and she talks to me all the time. She's a chatty Cathy." And he's looking, and he's just like, "It's a boy." So he calls me up, and he goes, "You spoke that into existence." And I wanted to go, "Well, last time I checked physiologically, you spoke that into existence."
That was your fault.
Sounds to me like it was the sperm that determines the gender of the child. So don't blame me.
So my husband liked for a while, because we had 4 girls and then we had the 2 boys. And he would say, and I'm like, "This is all your fault. You need to figure it out. Have a talk with your sperm because we're having all girls." Well, he goes and does some research, and then he comes back and tells me, "Nope, I figured it out. It's all your fault because the pH in your body's not right for carrying boys." I'm like, "What?"
Okay. And I'm over here anticipating he's going to tell you, "So now we've got to do it doggy style because that's how you get boys." You gotta,
Yeah.
the physics of it, the way that it goes in.
Yeah, that would have been his engineering mind, but
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I was like, if you want a boy, you gotta do it doggy style. Okay? You cannot do it missionary or she on top. It will not happen. Gravity says no. But it actually has to do with the projection at that degree.
Mm-hmm. Makes
And
sense.
it propels
Mm-hmm.
the little spermatozoa.
Right.
People are like, "I did not need to know that." And I'm like, some of you do. Some of you need to know that. Because you got 5 girls and you need a boy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I know somebody that's got 6 girls.
And they need a boy.
And they need a boy. The other thing with that too is calculating your ovulation date and knowing exactly when to get busy to make the boy or make the girl, because the boys swim faster but don't last as long, and the girl sperms have more stamina and last longer.
And they very are much affected by the pH in the woman's body. So yes, there is some truth to what Brent said, but we're XX, okay? So ain't nothing but XX gonna happen out of here.
Right.
It is up to you dudes, so you need to watch your pH.
There you go.
Yeah.
That was like an ongoing argument in our house for a long time because of...
I know. Wouldn't it be hilarious, like, if you're trying to conceive? I mean, it's like, you know that you can conceive, but you're trying to conceive, and you just start messing with your man. you're gonna have to eat raw yeast in order to promote the XY sperm to swim. I would do some crazy.
I would too.
I would do some
I'm like,
crazy
my mind's
shit.
going wild right now.
I'm like, oh my god. Can you imagine me and Katox 30 years ago? I would have been messing with him hardcore. You're going to have to chew on that dried sage leaf and eat red dirt from the Canadian River in order for me to conceive.
That would be hilarious, actually.
She'd probably look at me and go, babe, anything you need.
Whatever you want, honey.
You want me to do what? You want me to, and I'm like, no, you don't need to do that, But
that's great.
I could just imagine, because my husband would be all about it.
Yeah.
He would have, because, we didn't have any children together. And that was always one of his deals, is that he would love to have had kids, and we talk, I'd love to have had kids with you. We would have had really, fun, interesting, rewarding experience as co-parenting, I didn't want to say, we would have so much fun with our new playmates,
That too.
That too,
That too.
I gotta go play, I'm gonna go to the park with the kids, and it's really me on the jungle gym, and they're like, can we go home?
Uh-huh.
I have to hang here a little bit more. But no, that would have been just a blast to have been a parent with him with younger children. I think that would have been a very rewarding experience. He would have been an excellent partner to co-parent with.
I could see you hanging on the jungle gym
And my kids,
and your husband sitting there going, no, kids, when we hang upside down.
Your mother is doing that to open her third eye.
Right. Like all calm and stuff, explaining, and you're like, woo!
I'm having such a good time. He actually, there are times that I kind of like wonder what it would have been like to have had kids with him. And then there are moments that I'm glad that did not manifest. Because I'm like, I don't know if I agree with that. Because I will say this, when it comes to daughters,
Mm-hmm.
he is a lot more strict in that thinking, and I think that has to do with hindsight.
Yeah.
He's a lot more strict in his thinking about daughters than he was when he had some stepkids, and then for sons, I think that there are things that he would let them get away with. I'd be like, oh, I don't think so.
That's right, yeah.
No, we don't do that. You're not going to be 8 years old driving 75 miles an hour in a Corvette. No. And he's like, all my kids will know how to drive by the time they're 8. No,
right.
I don't think so.
Right.
They need to learn how to ride a bike first. And that's a regular one, not a motorcycle. But that would have been, because he's a country guy.
Right.
And he's Native American. So he's a little bit different. This was the kid when he was 4 years old that was out on a dirt bike riding all over Caddo County.
Oh, wow.
And he would stop off at farmers' houses and they would fill up his tank, give him a snack, and send him on the way. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That reminds me of, have you ever read the book Bud and Me? It's like one of Brent's favorite books.
Mm-mm.
It's about two young boys that lived west of Lawton. I can't remember the name of the town. And this would have been right about the time, like, the old crank engines and the cars and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And they were, like, 5 and 7 or something. But they drove all the way from Oklahoma out to Washington, D.C., Yeah, and it's a very fascinating book.
But
it's a fun one.
But yeah, I know what because I saw a video or a documentary. I think I saw a documentary on it.
books
And
documentaries
I'm
all
like,
kinds of
yeah, but that was back then. I was like, now I wouldn't. I'll be like, oh no, baby, you can barely go to 7-Eleven without mommy.
stuff. I don't even know what love it. I mean,
You know, and
yeah.
that, you know, or I'll sit out in the car while they go into 7-Eleven and I'm still panicking about it. No, you know, and I think it's back then we lived in a sense of naiveness and sheltered from a lot of information unless you were smack in the middle of that information or those events or whatever going on. But I think that we were really, really sheltered. And so we didn't have as much concern or worry about, you know, kids kids going out to the woods for 3 days to camp. You're like, okay, pack you some stuff.
So I
We
guess
don't do that anymore.
This whole story of these boys, though, their dad was like a lawman or something, and they like ran into these undesirables, I guess, criminals that their dad had taken care of. And even the bad guys were taking care of them all the way
Can't
out.
stand your dad, but here's your hamburger.
You know, and people, I guess, along the way would write letters back to their parents and tell them, hey, you know, the kids were good, they just came through or whatever. So, but yeah, and there was no cell phones, there were no way to call home, no nothing.
And now I'm over here like, you want to do what?
Right.
You know, this is 2021, we don't do that, you know.
Right.
We do not do that.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm like, you want to drive to Dallas when something happens to you when you cross the border, you know. Mom, it's Texas. You never know.
You might drown in the Red River.
When have you got, you know. And I sit there and I laugh because 30 years ago, I'm driving at night by myself or with little kids going, 8 hours away.
Right.
And I'm like, how in the world did I ever do that? That was just insane. All right, so she's kitchen witching over here. What are we doing? Or what are you doing?
We're
just
going to
watching.
attempt ginger beer. And don't ask me anything about it because I don't know. I'm just following a recipe and we're just going to try it and see what happens.
Okay, so this is equal to she's winging it? No, that's okay. No, she actually planned it.
Recipe. I planned it.
Okay, so whose recipe is it?
Oh, you know,
Or where
I forgot
did you?
to bring it with it. I searched it up on the internet.
Oh, okay. It wasn't
I'll put a link.
It wasn't Julia Child.
No,
okay.
it was not Julia
No,
Child.
she pre-measured everything.
I
Like
did,
Julia
except
Child.
for the water.
Except for the water, which she's doing now. All right. So what are we doing? Tell us what we're
So
doing.
there's 7 cups of water in this, and hold on, because if I don't, I'm gonna lose count here in a second. I got one more.
9.
And I actually forgot. Oh, God. Anyway,
2.
so I made this was kind of interesting because a little historical thing about it. This is a ginger syrup, and I made this last night. This was 1 cup of sugar, white sugar, a half a cup of water, and 2 tablespoons of grated ginger. And you heat it up to dissolve the sugar, and then you let it steep for an hour.
Okay.
And then you strain the ginger off, and I put it in this bottle for today. So this is now in the UK, Britain, I guess. I don't know. I get all that confused. They call this gingerette.
Gingerette.
It's called gingerette, and you can have just this syrup, so that's simple syrup, and add it to club soda, and you have a really simple ginger ale.
Oh, wow.
So all of this is going to go into the water. Ooh. So these are actually this is one of my kombucha bottles, but it works. So ginger beer is actually a fermented drink, and it's not alcoholic like they say. It's got 0.05 or something alcohol.
So that's like 1% maybe.
Yeah. And then I've got 4 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice, and I'm gonna mix that up. So, and I'm gonna swirl it because I forgot
It's swirled and not shaken.
but it's just liquid. It's all liquid, so that's all good. And then I have my lovely bottles.
Okay.
Now, if you want to know where to get these bottles, I'm going to tell you where to get these bottles. Aldi.
Aldi's, okay.
Aldi's. And what comes in these bottles is a French lemonade that is absolutely amazing. And then we save the bottles.
I love it.
So, and I've got 2 bottles just in case. I'm going to fill this one first and then I'll do this one at home. This one came from Dollar Tree. So in each bottle, we're going to put, actually I'm just going to do it in this big one first and then we'll see what's left. We are going to put 1/8 of a teaspoon, if I can pop my funnel out. It's almost too big for the bottle.
Okay, so I'm going to go.
We're going to go just 1/8 of a teaspoon of yeast. Yeast.
Like the kind you bake with.
Like the kind you bake with. You can use brewer's yeast also. But I buy my yeast in bulk because I tend to do a lot of baking in our house. And I keep it in a jar in the freezer because that helps it live longer. And then we're just going to pour this mixture into it. Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle.
Mm-hmm.
That looks pretty, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Kind of looks like a lemonade. But it's going.
I almost overfilled the funnel because it's not coming out too, or it's not draining fast enough. I love this funnel, by the way. It's one of my favorites. Okay. It needs air. There we go.
Okay, how much more water?
A little bit more.
Good grief.
There. Oh, okay. That's good.
Okay, all right.
That is good. Okay. So we're going to cap this. You're going to see that yeast clumping down there. And we're going to shake it up to get it going.
She's making ginger beer.
Ginger beer. Now, this it takes about 3 or 4 days for it to ferment. So next Wednesday we're going to taste it
Yay!
for the first time. So everybody will get to see our reaction to it. And then this has to be burped daily. So you pop it once a day just to let it burp because it's going to build up pressure.
And we
And
don't
then-
want it to blow up all over the kitchen.
No, we do not want it to blow up all over the kitchen. I was going to do 1/8 teaspoon, but I'm going to pour this into this other bottle now.
Okay, so now she's making bottle number 2. So it's 1/8 of a teaspoon of your yeast.
So we will see what happens.
And then filling up the bottle up to the neck.
And then we'll shake it to mix it. And we're good to go. And you know what? I've got a little more liquid left, so I'm just going to go ahead and...
So she's making a third one.
So now we make a third one.
So we're going to have a lot of ginger beer. Good thing it's not alcoholic-y.
Right?
Because I probably would drink it just for the kick. Just to try
Just for
it.
the kick. So
Nah.
since we got some left, let's go and pour it in here now.
Cool beans.
Perfect. Yay. All right. We are good. So we ended up with 3 bottles of ginger beer,
That was with 7 cups of water.
7 cups of water.
The
The recipe said a 2-liter bottle, but if you know me, you know that I prefer glass over plastic. So, in fact, that being said, if you come see us and buy anything that is in a glass jar, bring the jar back, and we'll give you $1 off.
Yep. We'll pay you to bring the jar back.
Yep. We will. So there is our ginger beer.
So very cool way
It does
to
look like
start.
lemonade.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does look like lemonade. So it was how much? What was the grated?
The grated ginger, so your simple syrup is 1 cup of sugar, a half a cup of water, and 2 tablespoons of grated ginger. And then you have 4 tablespoons of lemon juice, 7 cups of water, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of yeast.
Per bottle,
Per bottle.
on the yeast.
Yep.
That is an 1/8 teaspoon, 1/8 teaspoon per bottle, and then you just fill your bottle up to the neck with your
Your
ginger
liquid.
lemonade, the ginger lemon water solution,
Yep.
the ginger syrup lemon. Yeah.
There you go.
So, well, we hope that you enjoyed today's episode of the Breakfast Show.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about body posture. Is it revealing? Is it talking about your hidden emotions? So if you're closed off and you do this, people think you're shutting down from them. So if you have to do this because it's cold, tell them it's cold.
It's cold.
I'm
That's why I'm doing
open
this.
and receptive to what you have to say.
There
And
you
you're
go.
like, quit making fun of me. No, I'm talking about me. I'm open and receptive, even though I'm cold. All right, so stand strong, my friends. Put
Stand
that
tall.
shoulder back. Put your feet in your legs, that shoulder, your feet shoulder width apart. Put your hands on your hip. Stand there for 2 minutes and get your courage, your strength, your stamina. Get your chutzpah going again.
There you go.
So, all right. Anything else you want to end this with today?
I don't think so.
All
Watch
right.
for those events on the event pages, and we need some stars. Stars.
Monetization through Facebook.
That's
We
right.
receive it in the form of stars. And we actually have we are 90% on, oh, there's that syrup on here.
Is
I
it
wanna,
sticky?
I'm wanting to do this, but I was like, no, I'm on camera. How many stars would you have to see me lick the table? No, just kidding. But we are rewarded in stars, and
We're
so
like our little gold stars. We need gold stars.
yep, we're 90% away from our first goal, which was for $5.
Mhm.
So we're like $4.50, something like that. So we could use some stars. And then we have a goal of 10,000 stars so that we can buy new equipment and upgrade our equipment, especially since, this is take 2.
We do
Take
need some
1,
upgrade.
we had no
Yeah.
audio, so we had to back out and restart it again. So we would love for you to be a part of something great, and so when you give us stars, we can honor you by talking to you during the Facebook Live, by saying thank you publicly, putting you on our cool groovy list, all sorts of kind of cool
on our
things.
cool groovy list.
I know,
You'll be one of our best friends.
You'll be a patron, so I mean,
We'll play with you on the playground. We won't play with anybody else.
Hey, quit making fun of me. She's making fun of me. No, I play with everybody, unless you're a mean bully or, you're not authentic.
There we go.
I don't have time for that. So, but, that was rude of me. Not really. But peace, love, and harmony. Peace, love, harmony.
See
I hope
you.
to see you. See you.
Where to see you?
Soon.
See you on the flip side.
See you on the flip side. Peace, love, and harmony. Don't watch me as I lick the table. Just kidding. Just kidding. That syrup, it dripped on there. I want to know what it tastes like. I'm such a kid.
It's really good, actually.
Oh, whoops. It says, do you really want to end it?
Yep, we do. Well, not really, because we're having